Last week marked 25 years since Michael Schumacher clinched the second of his 7 Formula One Drivers' Championships, and arguably his best. For more on that moment, let's zoom in. This photo of Michael Schumacher celebrating victory in the 1995 Pacific Grand Prix, and with it the Formula One Drivers' Championship, contains characters and stories that had shaped the season and would continue to affect the sport. Let's start with the third place getter in the race, Damon Hill. He and Schumacher are all smiles here, but they've had quite the history. Hill had made his F1 debut in 1992 with Brabham, before being a surprise choice to partner Alain Prost at Williams in 1993, and remained the junior partner to Ayrton Senna in '94. Thrust into the role of Williams' lead driver after Senna's tragic death at Imola, Hill performed brilliantly and went into the season-ending Australian Grand Prix 1 point behind Schumacher. But Schumacher controversially collided with Hill, taking both drivers out of the race and giving the German his first world title. In 1995, they had another 2 major incidents, at Silverstone and Monza, both of which were blamed on Hill amid a rough season for the Brit. His performance would lead to Williams in early '96, replacing him for the following season. And even though Hill went on to win the '96 title, he was out the door, his career petering out with Arrows and Jordan. Hill's teammate here is David Coulthard, who finished second in this race. The Scot would have 16 years in Formula One, best remembered for his time as Mika Häkkinen's partner at McLaren. And he's not far from joining McLaren. He's already signed for '96 after Williams had only offered him a 1-year contract. Williams was cautious, as Coulthard had only made his F1 debut after Senna's death, but he did go on to finish third in the 1995 championship. And the presence of 2 Williams drivers in the top 3 speaks to why this is perhaps Schumacher's best championship. Between them, Hill and Coulthard started on pole 12 times to Schumacher's 4. The Williams was a faster car, but Schumacher won 9 of 17 races to easily win the title and give Benetton the Constructors' Championship too. It was the only time Benetton won the Constructors' title, a triumph for Flavio Briatore. The Italian had been appointed to manage the Benetton team after having set up several successful franchises for the Benetton fashion brand, while a fugitive in the Virgin Islands following fraud convictions in the 1980s. The 1994 season was marred by allegations of cheating, and Briatore would eventually be thrown out of F1 after the Crashgate scandal of 2008. But while in the sport, he was an outstanding talent scout. His best move? Of course, it was signing Michael Schumacher. The German had turned heads by qualifying 7th on debut at the 1991 Belgian Grand Prix for the Jordan team. Briatore moved quickly, and despite Jordan taking the matter to court, Schumacher started the next race for Benetton. Schumacher and Benetton continued to impress, and in 1994, the German won 6 of the first 7 races, becoming the standout talent on the track after Prost's retirement and Senna's death. And though that season ended with a contentious crash with Hill, Ferrari had no doubt, earmarking the '94 champion to return the prancing horse to the top. The deal was announced in May 1995, and Schumacher's brilliant showing for the rest of the year proved the wisdom of that decision. Eventually, Schumacher and Ferrari would enjoy an unprecedented dominance of the sport, with 5 straight drivers' titles in the 2000s. But it was '95, when he routinely outperformed his rivals despite a slower car, that showed Michael Schumacher at his very best.
Thanks for watching. For more great content on all the major stories in world sport, make sure you hit the subscribe button.